This week on the Tiger Lacrosse Report, we'll discuss the Tigers' latest match against the Retrievers of UMBC. Later, we'll look ahead to the Tigers' next couple of games against the Hobart Statesmen and the Ohio State University Buckeyes. Get ready, fans. The Tiger Lacrosse Report begins now. Hello, Tiger fans, and welcome to another episode of the Tiger Lacrosse Report presented by Northwestern Mutual. The Tigers came into Catonsville aggressive last Saturday, scoring 4 quick goals in the first quarter alone. UMBC fought back with 3 straight goals to start the second quarter, but the Tigers would not allow them to come back as they closed the half with a 6-4 lead. Andrew Hodgson and Joe Sider both had 2 goals in that first half, while Spencer Parks and Ryan Drenner each added a goal. Let's take a look at the highlights of the first half against the Retrievers. Coach, you guys led 6-4 at halftime. Offensively, you guys were really clicking in that first half against UMBC. What do you think it was that made the offense come alive?
I think our previous game against Navy, they weren't happy with their performance. So, the next couple of days in practice, they really tuned it up. They put in some time on their own to sharpen up their shooting, and those guys came out, I think, with something to prove to themselves and to their teammates, saying that they can be better as an offensive group, and that was exciting to see. Possession time helped. Alec Berkeley was really strong for us at the face-off X all game. UMBC made a nice little run in the second quarter, got some possession time there, but I think the O guys really took it upon themselves to come out with a much cleaner and more efficient day.
We also saw at times during the ball game against UMBC where you had 5 attackmen on the field.
Yeah, and that's something that we've talked about and obviously had planned ever since the start of the season, with Brian Bulowicki going down and not really sure who we were going to have at the midfield, Ben McCarty being injured, and things like that. We just knew we got some talented attackmen. We got to put them on the field, put our best options out there to score and put points on the board on the field. And those guys are helping us do that.
What'd you say to the team at halftime with that 2-goal lead?
Obviously UMBC is a well-coached team, a dangerous team. Made a good run in that second quarter, fought back. So we didn't get too crazy. We just needed to stay consistent. I thought Alec again was dialed in at the face-off. If we could have kept, we wanted to keep earning that and winning the face-off battle, being a little bit better with the wing play there. And it wasn't anything crazy. We were getting good looks. Their goalie, did what we expected. He made some nice saves. We were able to get a couple by him. And defensively, I thought we played well, but we didn't play as well as we could have. So they needed to clean it up. But I thought overall we just stayed pretty true.
So it was a 2-goal lead for the Tigers. We have come to our first break. When we come back, we'll discuss the results of the second half of the game between the Tigers and UMBC. The Tiger Lacrosse Report, presented by Northwestern Mutual, with head coach Shawn Nadelen, will return right after these words.
With communication comes trust. At Northwestern Mutual, we start by getting to know you, then together build a financial plan that takes advantage of life's opportunities.
This is where the legends live, waiting for someone with better innovation. From the brand that reinvented the t-shirt comes the Under Armour Speedform Apollo. This is our rocket ship.
You'll find it on the sidewalks of Little Italy and on the porches in Catonsville. You can see it when friends meet in Mount Vernon. It's pride. Pride in our city, pride in our people. That's why MedStar Health is building the most accessible healthcare system in the region to look after everyone from Lutherville to Locust Point. So no matter where you go, no matter who you are, you're never far from MedStar.
Brian Vickers, Aaron's sponsored driver. He doesn't just love racing, he lives it.
He got the paper! Woo!
His pit crew follows him everywhere. Oddly, so does his boss.
Right, sign that.
And his passion for racing is rivaled only by his passion for errands.
No credit needed. I'll take it.
Woo!
Congrats.
Aaron's makes owning easy through lease ownership, so you can own the life you want.
Welcome back to the Tiger Lacrosse Report, brought to you by Northwestern Mutual. I'm Spiro Morekas. UMBC was unable to find the net for most of the second half. They only scored 3 goals. The Tigers, on the other hand, came into the fourth quarter hot and scored 4 straight to put them ahead 11-5. UMBC scored the final 2 goals of the game, but the final was 11-7. Before we continue, let's take a look at the highlights from the second half against the Retrievers.
Tossing goals scored by number 6, Spencer Parks. Assisted by number 22, Ryan Dremmer. Tossing goals scored by number 22, Ryan Dremmer. Johnson 11, UMBC 7.
Well, the game of lacrosse is all about a game. It's all about runs. Like you said, they went on a run, we went on a run. You just got to capitalize on your opportunities. You're going to get them out there, especially when we win face-offs. Defense makes some stops. Their team's going to make some stops. But you just got to capitalize on the opportunities that you get and take it one possession at a time.
Andrew Hodgson led the way for the Tigers with a career-high 4 goals. And now, Coach, that we've watched these highlights, how huge was it that you guys just stayed aggressive from the opening face-off of that second half?
It was, I think that was paramount, to be able to come out and be able to keep your, foot on the pedal and then continue to press forward. That's who we want to be and what we want to be about, regardless of the situation. You come out of the half, you still got 30 minutes of lacrosse to play. Nobody, you could have a 10-goal lead. You're not going to pull back. At least we're not going to pull back on the reins and slow things down. We got to continue to play at our level and play, aggressively. And even if you're down, you got to be able to do that. So being able to hit those shots early and then kind of create the tempo was important.
We've talked about Andrew Hodgson and his return this year and how much he's meant to this team. But the key, and you mentioned it earlier, could have been Alec Berkeley. He had a tremendous day at the face-off circle. UMBC coming in had won 29 of 49 face-offs, so they were a good face-off team. Alec had his way with those guys. He did. And,
I credit Alec and all of our face-off guys in, the preparation they put into it. We saw some things on film with their long stick midi that took face-offs as well as their short stick of how we wanted to kind of attack it. They utilized their wings very well, 21 for them. Seth Mackin, I thought it was terrific for them off the wings, and he showed that in film, so he still made some really nice plays. But Alec did a good job of keeping the ball contained within himself and being able to get out of trouble. And, that just earns us, so many more possessions that, with those, we got to capitalize, and we did. Also led you to almost a 3-1 advantage in shots on goal. I mean, shots taken during the course of the game. Right, exactly. And that's, we've been on the flip side of that too many times, and that plays a lot of defense, puts a lot of pressure on your defense, and that's not fun. And then offensively, we stepped up and then canned some, really nice shots with opportunities. And, Andrew did a great job, 4 for 7 shooting. That's a great day. Also, Joe Sider with the hat trick. Yeah, Joe continues to put the ball in the back of the net, and I was impressed how he changed up his level of shot. He tried to get a couple high, which he usually does, but changed his level of shot up and then got their goalie, I think, guessing a little bit with that velocity coming at him. So, Joe continues to develop pretty well. He's not shy. He loves to shoot, Shooters love to shoot, definitely. And do you love him shooting like that? Well, he's got his hands free, and, it's a pretty good decision, yeah. All right, so the Tigers get the victory against UMBC. Coming up on the other side of this break, we'll look ahead to the Tigers' next set of home games. Back at the U for the first time in 4 games, they'll take on Hobart and Ohio State. We'll be back with the Tiger Lacrosse Report presented by Northwestern Mutual right after these words.
Brian Vickers, Aaron's sponsored driver. He doesn't just love racing, he lives it.
We got the paper! Woo!
His pit crew follows him everywhere. Oddly, so does his boss.
Red, sign that! Yeah!
And his passion for racing is rivaled only by his passion for errands.
No credit needed. I'll take it.
Woo!
Congrats.
Aaron's makes owning easy through lease ownership, so you can own the life you want.
You'll find it on the sidewalks of Little Italy and on the porches in Catonsville. You can see it when friends meet in Mount Vernon. It's pride. Pride in our city, pride in our people. That's why MedStar Health is building the most accessible healthcare system in the region to look after everyone from Lutherville to Locust Point. So no matter where you go, no matter who you are, you're never far from MedStar.
With communication comes trust. At Northwestern Mutual, we start by getting to know you, then together build a financial plan that takes advantage of life's opportunities.
Virtual Wallet can help you be that person who's good with money. See what's free to spend, move money with a slide, save with a shake. Feel good about your decisions.
Welcome back to the Tiger Lacrosse Report, brought to you by Northwestern Mutual. I'm Spiro Morekas. The Tigers will play their next 2 games here at Johnny Unitas Stadium. They will welcome the Hobart Statesmen this Saturday at noon, presented by Mariner Finance, before taking on the Ohio State Buckeyes Tuesday night at 7, presented by Pepsi. The Tigers defeated Hobart in their last matchup way back in 2012, 10-9 in overtime. The Tigers lost their last matchup against the Buckeyes of Ohio State, 16-6 in the first round of the 2013 NCAA tournament. Coach, you're going up against a Hobart team on Saturday. We'll talk about them first. They come in at 3-2, but they're averaging over 10 goals a game. Obviously, this offense has clicked during the course of the year.
It has. They have a terrific attackman, Alex Love. He's a fantastic player. He's on the Jordan watch list. But they also create a lot from defense to offense. They have very good personnel that can push in transition. They like to take advantage of those unsettled situations. And if they have to play 6-on-6, they can grind you down too. They have very capable personnel offensively.
Their goalkeeper, Jackson Brown, not the singer, comes in 11th in the nation with a .558 save percentage. So for your offense, they're going to be facing a goalie who knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he's good. He's a lefty, good-sized kid, and then we see a good-sized kid in practice every day with Tyler White. So hopefully that helps us out. But he's very explosive to the ball. You're able to either get a stick on it or get a body part on it. And they do some different things defensively in front of him to tweak up how offenses have to attack him. So when he has to, he steps up and usually makes a big save.
Before we get to Ohio State, let's talk about these two games because the Tigers have not played Hobart since 2012, and I don't recall Towson ever playing Ohio State in a regular season game. How do these two games come about?
Hobart actually was originally supposed to be a scrimmage for this season, and we both were talking to each other, Coach Raymond and myself, and we had an open date this same time, and I was like, well, why don't we make the scrimmage a game and work on a scrimmage with other teams at that point. So that came through there, and then Ohio State was something that I think it's a good relationship to have. It's a good obviously a good team. Coach Myers is a great coach, and they always run a good program. So want to try to get back a little bit from 2013 with those guys as well.
Now, are these games that you will return to both of these schools?
Hobart's still in the works. Ohio State, yes, we go back. We go out to Ohio State next year.
All right, let's talk about the Buckeyes. They come in, they are 5-2. They have played two CAA schools already. They beat Delaware 10-3. They beat Hofstra 9-8. So obviously this is a team that has been able to handle a couple of your conference foes.
They're a good team, and they stay with who they are. They got Jesse King, who's one of the best midfielders in the country, and good offensive personnel around them. I think they're very sound defensively. They always are. And face-off wise, they're, I think, operating at an extremely high clip. So they're balanced all the way through. I know they didn't, they haven't had success in a few of their games that they would have liked, but it's a team that, again, not being overly familiar with them, it's not a year-to-year team that we play with a quick turnaround. We're going to have to, understand who they are and how dangerous they are quickly.
Well, you mentioned the face-offs. They're second in the nation, 70%. They are first in man-down defense. They have not given up a goal in an extra man situation this year. So those are the special teams type of stats that you look at and know that this is a very sound fundamental team.
Exactly, and as I said, front to back, they're very disciplined in all facets of the game. And, when you can keep teams off the board when you foul, and then you can earn possession on face-offs, it's tough to put points up on the board against that, and that's something that's, they're kind of hanging their hat on, and that's going to be a challenge for us to face. But, I know our guys will be excited for it.
Well, I mentioned Jackson Brown being in the top 15 in the nation in save percentage. Well, Tom Carey of Ohio State, he's 11th in the nation in save percentage, 56.4%. So your offense is going to be facing two very good goalies over the next 4 days.
Absolutely, and then, like I said, I think we get tested well in practice. We've been tested well, throughout the season so far with good goalies. And that's, I think, what a lot of games are coming down to, not just with our own team, but across the board. It's how teams are really finishing the ball. Teams are generating shots, generating opportunities. The teams that are, finishing the ball at a high percentage, obviously, are putting points up on the board. We've seen where we don't finish the ball well, but get opportunities, it puts us in a tough situation. So I think our offense is going to have to continue to stay engaged and obviously continue to play better and be more efficient.
You have these two games and then next week against Binghamton before conference play starts. Are you still maybe mixing and matching a little bit, getting ready for conference play, or are you pretty much set with what your guys can do now?
We have a really good idea of who our guys are and what they can do. We're sprinkling in maybe a couple guys here and there, just with them playing better in practice, allowing us maybe opportunities for more depth as we get into, you know, the kind of the middle part of our season into the end, where we might need a little bit more depth, some fresher legs, things like that. So there might be some new faces out there, you know, come this week, especially with 3 games in 8 days basically. So, you know, it's a good problem to have.
I'll tell you, someone who looks like, from these untrained eyes, is playing very well, who's playing for the first time, Andrew Cordes on the defensive end. He looks like he's really added to your defense.
He is. Andrew, you know, he's a junior for us. It was kind of knocking on the door the past 2 years, but took it upon himself this summer after, you know, I kind of challenged him at the end of the spring and said, hey, you got to come back in great shape and be ready to go. And he did that, you know, and it shows how much he wants to play, how much, you know, it means to him to be a part of this program and be an impactful part of it on game day. And he's done a lot of really good things.
Well, he'll have 2 games to impress the coaching staff even more. We have to take one final break, but we'll be back with more of the Tiger Lacrosse Report presented by Northwestern Mutual right after this.
This is where the legends live, waiting for someone with better innovation. From the brand that reinvented the t-shirt comes the Under Armour Speedform Apollo. This is our rocket ship.
Virtual Wallet can help you be that person who's good with money. See what's free to spend, move money with a slide, save with a shake. Feel good about your decisions.
Yeah, we're on vacation next month. My family churns through all sorts of data.
Well, now we have mobile share value plans with rollover data, so the data you don't use this month rolls over to the next.
Sounds great, but what's your angle?
I don't think I have any angles.
Hardball, huh? Look, if you want me in on this, I want a piece of the action.
Oh, well, you get the rollover data automatically, so you're already in on the action.
Deal.
You should negotiate more stuff. You're pretty good at it.
Introducing AT&T Rollover Data. The data you don't use this month rolls over to the next month.
With communication comes trust. At Northwestern Mutual, we start by getting to know you, then together build a financial plan that takes advantage of life's opportunities.
Welcome back to the Tiger Lacrosse Report. Coach, thank you for joining us, and good luck against Hobart and Ohio State this week.
Thanks, Spiro.
As we have mentioned, the Tigers playing their next 2 games at home in Johnny Unitas Stadium. Saturday's game against Hobart, brought to you by Mariner Finance, starts at noon with the pregame show hosted by myself and Hunter Lochte at 11:45 on TowsonTigers.com. And Tuesday's game against Ohio State is brought to you by Pepsi, starting at 7 p.m. with the pregame show starting at 6:45. You can purchase your tickets by calling 1-855-TU-TIGER or online at TowsonTigers.com. If you can't make the game, you can follow all the action online and for free at TowsonTigers.com. Thanks for watching another episode of the Tiger Lacrosse Report presented by Northwestern Mutual, and go Tigers!